Hey everyone, my name is Troy from Tech Games Etc. And so let's talk about life dealing with finances. Now, as you know, this past weekend, if you played the lottery, the Mega Millions, the lottery was almost up to $600 million. And there were actually three jackpot winners, one in Kansas, one in Illinois, and one in Maryland. So, so I actually played the lottery, and the odds are huge. If you don't know, the jackpot is like 1 in 175 million. And I actually put up most of my winnings that I won over the years. I had like $73 that I won. And it goes to show you how much odds that are in it. I didn't win anything. I won $2 back. So it was just funny, like how that what happened this weekend inspired this video to talk about really about finances and things like that. So normally I with the lottery and things like that, I don't try to bank on winning the lottery. I try to build my wealth uh, through hard work and determination. But hey, I put up $1 here and there per drawing to see what happens. So let's talk about finances as far as I hope like everyone who is watching that you don't live beyond your means. Always afford the lifestyle that you always live the lifestyle that you can afford. I personally, me personally, I did not go to school. I did not go to college. I dropped out. I dropped out of college when I was like, I think 19, 20, whatever. But I think, like as far as like, there are some exceptions to this rule. I know if you can't afford college, you can take out loans and stuff. But I say, hey, if you got to take that chance to further your career, your job, opportunity, go right ahead and just be ready for the consequences of that. Because sometimes people can be paying off their college loans when they're in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and things like that. But there's always an exception to this rule. I understand, but if you got to do the loan thing, you got to do the loan thing. And also, if you want to establish credit, if you want to get a credit card, but you're not qualified, some banks actually have a thing where you can have a secure credit card. That's what I had to do personally, because the only reason I got a secure credit card was I didn't want to buy a car, I didn't want to buy a house, but I asked the ladies, I said, with a good credit is is it good for if I want like a business loan later down the road? They'll go look at my credit. And she was like, yeah, they'll actually look at that. So I said, all right. So some banks have it where you can actually put down $90, right? And you have to keep a clean, credit card, basically pay all your bills on time. And after the year is up, they'll give you your $90 back. And also, they'll probably bump up, like a secure credit card on average will probably give you a spending limit of like $500. But be careful. Be careful not to go out and blow all your money, please. Like the woman at the bank I was at, she was like, whatever you do, do not carry a balance, pay everything off. You only spend what you got in your savings or your checking account. And that was really good because when you have good credit, it will show when you're about to purchase something. Like, for example, I have a cell phone. When I went to go get my cell phone, they did a credit check, and my credit was good. I didn't have to put a down payment on the phone. Now, speaking of smartphones, I actually got teased because I still got the Motorola Razr. And I was at work, and I pulled it out to send a text, and someone looked at it. They were like, yo, you got the Razr? Oh my gosh, I didn't have that. That came out when I was in like 7th grade. And so they laughed at me, whatever. They're like, man, you should get an Android. You should get this. You should get that. But me personally, it's like I could get a smartphone right now, but I don't want to pay the smartphone bill. You have to play it smart. Play it smart. If you know you can't live a life you can't afford, play it smart. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses and look like everything is good when everything is not. So with me, I actually tell people that. I said, Right now, I just can't get it. Like, I got my tax return back, right? And I was on the fence about buying another PS3, buying another stronger router. I don't know if I mentioned this in any further videos, earlier videos, but it was like once I got my money, this is the most money I ever had in like my tax returns. I said, maybe I don't need that PS3 as I thought. Because I can put it in my room. So if my brother needs to use it when out here in the living room, I have something. And also if I want to play online, I can, like, instead of hooking up my Turtle Beaches and my computer, I can have everything hooked up in my room and just leave it there. But I mean, just please don't try to live a life you can't afford. Because there's this one story, right? Like, I know this neighbor, right? Where I don't know them personally. But they actually had to downgrade where they lived to compensate, because there are areas of this place where, there's high income for high income people, and if you can't afford the payments, you'll go down to a low income, right? And so I'm saying to myself, like, okay, so they live in this small, like, really small apartment, like really small. When I tell you small, it's small. So he goes out and he buys I don't know if it's brand new or if it's pre-owned, whatever. And nice car. It's like a Nissan Z. Nice car. Nice paint, nice wheels, everything. And so I'm not knocking somebody who does this. I'm not knocking them at all. But like, if you know where a person comes from, you see them driving a nice car, it's like, dude, you driving this nice car and your family living in a lunchbox? It's like having priorities. Is it right to say that, like, whatever you drive, it should match where you live? I mean, because I think sometimes people be living in their cars. Like, you got a nice brand, but you probably live in a garage or something. You know what I'm saying? You live something real small, like a hole in the wall. It's just priorities. Like, get your priorities straight. If you cannot afford something, please don't buy it. If you can't, that's my best advice. Don't try to live a life you cannot afford. Please don't. That is like, it's not good. It's not good. You don't want to spend all your life just keeping your head above water. So, there you have it. There go the video about finances today. If you like what you saw today, please like the video. It helps out a lot. And if you also like it, feel free to share it on any social networking site that you can, or send it to a friend or a relative or whatever. And so you can always hit me up at techgamesetc@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on that PlayStation Network at Asian_boy_100. I thank you so much for watching. See you later. Thanks a lot.